Imagine waking up before dawn, not to snooze an alarm, but to walk 4 miles through mud and rain just for a chance to sit in a classroom. This was Maya's daily reality. In a small village where electricity flickered like a fragile candle and books were a rare treasure, Maya's hunger for education burned fiercely. Her family struggled to make ends meet. Her father's hands were rough from labor, and her mother juggled odd jobs, yet both shared one hope: that Maya would learn beyond the limits set by their circumstances. The school was a humble building with cracked walls and peeling paint, but inside, it was a universe of possibility. Yet, the biggest obstacle wasn't the distance or the dilapidated school. It was the skepticism of her community, where education for girls was often seen as unnecessary. Many told her to focus on household chores, to prepare for marriage, not mathematics or literature. But Maya held on to a small, worn notebook filled with notes she copied from borrowed books, practicing long after the sun dipped below the horizon. To overcome the lack of resources, Maya became a creative learner. She fashioned flashcards from scraps of paper, turning the pages of her notebook into a makeshift textbook. When the power went out, she studied by the flickering light of a kerosene lamp, tracing letters with trembling fingers until they became second nature. She taught herself English through a battered radio show that she caught when the static cleared, repeating words until they felt like her own. But perhaps the most remarkable strategy Maya used was building a support network. She found a retired teacher in her village who volunteered to tutor her and a small group of girls every weekend. This circle wasn't just about lessons. It became a sanctuary where they shared dreams and frustrations, laughed at their mistakes, and celebrated small victories like mastering multiplication or writing their first essay. Her days were a balancing act, helping at home, trekking to school, and studying late into the night. Many nights, exhaustion threatened to extinguish her spirit. But Maya kept a simple ritual. Before sleep, she wrote down one thing she learned that day and one question she hoped to answer tomorrow. This practice turned her curiosity into a compass, guiding her through uncertainty. As years passed, Maya's perseverance began to reshape her world. She earned a scholarship to a city school, a place with bright classrooms and shelves bursting with books. The transition was daunting: new faces, faster lessons, and expectations heavier than before. Yet, the resilience forged in her village carried her through. She asked questions boldly, sought help without hesitation, and never stopped writing down her daily lessons and inquiries. Maya's success rippled beyond her own achievements. She started a small library in her village, made from donated books and her own carefully collected notes. She encouraged younger children, especially girls, to dream beyond the visible horizon. Her story became a beacon, proving that education isn't a privilege reserved for the few, but a right earned through relentless determination. What can you take from Maya's journey? First, when resources are scarce, invent your own tools. Use what you have creatively. Second, build your tribe. Learning is a shared journey, and support makes obstacles smaller. Third, turn curiosity into a daily habit. Record what you learn and what you wonder about. It fuels growth. Lastly, remember that every small step, every question asked, every note taken is a victory shaping your future. Maya's path wasn't smooth, but it was hers, a testament that determination doesn't erase hardship. It transforms it into strength. So, whatever your mountain looks like, start walking, carry your questions, gather your people, and keep your eyes on the horizon. Your story, like Maya's, can light the way for many who come after. Maya's journey was not just about academic success. It was about breaking barriers and challenging norms deeply rooted in her community. Each morning, as she stepped out of her home into the cold, damp air, her resolve was a silent rebellion against the voices that doubted her. The mud and rain were not just physical obstacles, but metaphors for the societal resistance she faced. Yet, she moved forward, feet sinking into the earth, but her spirit rising higher with each step. Her family, though struggling, became her first source of inspiration and strength. Her father, with hands calloused from years of toil in the fields, often shared stories of perseverance and the value of hard work. Her mother, balancing multiple jobs and household duties, exemplified resilience and sacrifice. They never had the chance to attend school themselves, but their dreams for Maya were boundless. They believed that through education, she could carve out a different future, one filled with possibilities they never had. The village itself was a place where traditions ran deep, and change was often met with hesitation. Girls were expected to conform to established roles, learning skills that prepared them for domestic life rather than academic pursuits. Maya's decision to attend school was met with mixed reactions. Some admired her courage, while others whispered doubts about the usefulness of educating a girl. But Maya was undeterred. Her notebook became a symbol of defiance and hope, each page a testament to her commitment to learning despite limited materials. Creativity became Maya's greatest ally. In the absence of textbooks, she transformed ordinary objects into educational tools. Scraps of paper became flashcards, and the margins of her notebooks turned into canvases for diagrams and vocabulary lists. When night fell and darkness enveloped her home, the soft glow of a kerosene lamp illuminated her diligent study sessions. The flickering light cast dancing shadows on the walls, but Maya's focus never wavered. Her fingers traced letters and numbers until they were etched into her memory. The battered radio was another window to the world beyond her village. Tuning in carefully, she caught English language programs that aired sporadically. Listening intently, she repeated phrases, mimicked pronunciation, and slowly built her confidence. This self-taught immersion opened new doors, allowing her to communicate beyond her immediate surroundings and dream of opportunities far away. Finding a mentor in the retired teacher was a turning point. This woman, once a respected educator, saw in Maya the spark of potential that could ignite change. Weekends became sacred times when a small group of girls gathered to learn, share, and support each other. The classroom they met in was humble, but the atmosphere was rich with encouragement and ambition. They worked through problems together, celebrated progress, and lifted each other during moments of doubt. Balancing schoolwork with household responsibilities was no easy feat. Maya's days started before sunrise and often ended long after darkness had settled. She helped prepare meals, fetched water, and cared for younger siblings, all while keeping up with her studies. Exhaustion was a constant companion, threatening to dim her enthusiasm. Yet, her nightly ritual of noting down a lesson learned and a question to explore the next day kept her mind engaged and her spirit hopeful. The scholarship to the city school was both a triumph and a challenge. The environment was starkly different: modern facilities, abundant resources, and a diverse student body. Initially overwhelmed, Maya leaned on the resilience she had cultivated over the years. She adapted quickly, participating actively in classes and seeking guidance whenever needed. Her habit of journaling continued, helping her process new information and track her growth. Returning to her village during breaks, Maya noticed subtle but meaningful changes. The small library she established became a hub of learning and inspiration. Children who once had little access to books now found stories and knowledge within their reach. Maya organized reading sessions, encouraged discussions, and mentored younger students, fostering a culture that valued education. Her impact extended beyond academics. Maya's story challenged gender stereotypes and encouraged families to support their daughters' education. She spoke at community gatherings, sharing her experiences and advocating for equal opportunities. Slowly, attitudes began to shift, and more girls enrolled in school, emboldened by Maya's example. Reflecting on Maya's journey reveals powerful lessons. Scarcity of resources need not limit ambition. Innovation and determination can bridge gaps. The strength found in community and mentorship highlights the importance of connection and shared purpose. Cultivating curiosity through daily reflection nurtures a lifelong love of learning. Most importantly, every small victory contributes to a larger transformation. Maya's story is a beacon for anyone facing obstacles on their path to knowledge. It reminds us that challenges are not roadblocks, but stepping stones. With courage, creativity, and support, even the steepest mountains can be climbed. Maya's footsteps mark a trail for others to follow, one illuminated by perseverance and the unwavering belief that education is a right, a tool, and a light for the future.